It can be difficult to tell the difference between the punks of adolescence and actual drug use, and parents can be proactive in talking to their teens to find out what is going on. So it will be very actually, if the parents are proactive in talking, then the parents may be able to identify that some of their teenagers are using substances because they are living along with the parents. But most of the parents are not aware of it, and that is why how it is going on now, especially parents are a little far away from their children, right? And the complaints are coming up from the localities. Complaints are coming out from the friends. Complaints are coming out from the school side. At the moment, parents are realizing that because parents could not identify exactly, but the teacher can identify. They can find out the teenagers with red-handed, and local people might be there also with the red-handed. At the moment, people realize. At the moment, parents realize that their children are using substances. Okay, so the last information of their children that they are using the drugs, that will be reached at their family only, as parents are very far away from their children. This is one factor. Parents ayam singsi kaidoba mukoi angang singsi ang close observation tawdabana maram oirkanda kaidore ikon kona parents na tarak pada mukoi angang singsi sugumba kaidoba substance decision nei haiba nisa sing decision nei haiba aini yadaba nisa sing je abuse awi haibagi pausi ikon kon bada taeba ada parent na tarak pa matam dadi kamai to egan angang di tibam dadi ayo salam nebo yan daro adi dardi. If the parents are aware about this, and then I think precautionary measures can be taken up at the early stage. I think, and if the parents knows also, most of the parents does not like to open up because we have some kind of discrimination, discrimination also, that and then the reputation of their parents, the reputation of their what you call the say families will be spoiled out, and that is why they keep secretly, and that is why the effect of this substance abuse is not only the, I think this is not only the psychological depends, but and most of the parents are not willing to take off the necessary action in order to treat their children who are suffering from the substance abuse. Adu idana mama pa mayam sing si kedor khanga ga su masai angang dugi mo matong nungai taba adi social stigma mayam laiba, then adagi amuk angang dugi wild behavior mayam sing duna adu mo mayam sing duna maram oira kan asum losan dana zum thamba losan sina thamba sina maram oira kan se is kedore angang dugi shock pagi sang the severity or effects of the drugs kedore ayuk san gi at the optimum level, and therefore psychological dependence the physical dependency level. As far as my knowledge concerned, that once the persons start using of the substance abuse, especially we frequently use like SP, and so many tablets. Then highest one is what we call it number 4. Okay, so number 4. This is the expert opinion then. Once they used to start this number 4 heroin, and they will have only the 1 week, and after the 1 week, and then physical dependency will come up. They will face 2 problems. That is what kadore charga su makoi da nungaiba from the nisha kadaba. Adagi thado pasungam dabo physical dependency hana de psychological dependency lerangani ko adagi physical dependency one gi bataragadi thado pasi sathi na wara ne haba ko aduna yamda kuidhari matik layang bada adu matik wagani ngali matik hena fagani, but adubu kaidore at the global standards the treatments this kind of the treatment of the substance abuse is really difficult. If the client, if the addicts have a strong determinations, there is a room to recover. Addict to a strong determination later my recovery chance automatic and then the addicts may be treated without the intentions, with the pressure of the parents or somebody's NGOs, and treatment might be there. Actually, treatment period is also according to the World Health Organization as well as NACO. It's minimum it should be 45 days in the treatment center, that is the rehab centers. But this is a norms given by NACO. Why? The easily availability of the substances nearby the communities. Okay, and as we discussed earlier, that the kind of education that we are providing at the school level is not to the mark that whatever we like. As I told you, that no scout facility, no NCC. I mean, yes, facility might be there, but in all the schools, NCC is not provided, scout facility is not provided, club facility is not provided, counseling facility is not provided, and therefore, actually, the students who have problems of the language problems, those students who have a language problem will have a difficulty to learn. Once they have a difficulty to learn, and they will be far away from the teacher's side, and they will try to sit to the last bench. There is one friend circles. There is one friend circles that they like to enjoy our life, because life is one time. We don't know whether we will have a next generation or not. Okay, they will enjoy. So this is their philosophy. Their belief system is something wrong, and we need to correct through the proper counseling. But the counseling is not being provided. Yes, as far as our society concerned, we have war on drugs. Okay, demand reductions. Therefore, many traffickers has been arrested, and all the substances has been burned off. Okay, disposed in the front of the medias. Also, we find other examples, and many traffickers has been what do you call it? Ruling has been given, and then remain in the jail more than 5 to 15 years, but still going on. I think yes, and then another thing is that we find initiative given by the government of Manipur, like poppy plantations. Now poppy destroy of the poppy plantation is also going on. Even they're still going on. This is what demand reductions. As far as harm reductions, many addicts are there and they are not under treatment. Recently we find nearby the BOC also, there is a one bunker where many addicts remain over there. They left their homes and they remain over the years, because if they are living nearby, and they hope that they will get. And in the home, there is a lot of crisis, especially economic crisis, and they are expelled by their parents and family members because they make a problem in their family. Okay, and they came out and they make a friend, and then they group, and they remain at a particular place. So I think nowadays we have problems of what we call is so many things. So how they earn money so that they will have drugs every day. Okay, but my question is that when we go through the clinical investigations, that they like to stop. They like to stop because the happiness is found only 1 week. After the 1 week, capsule lagasu makoi the nungai base sumpang pangdi. Henadum sum wasaleva. Adu capsule lagadi sidoriba because they are not getting the facilities of treatment. Okay, So I think many of the pharmacy, they are providing a lot of drugs without any prescriptions. This is also one issue that we find in our Manipur also. And proper scannings or proper screening is not done through the national highways. If yes, recently government of Manipur has already decided to install the X-ray to screen whether there is drug trafficking is going on through the transport systems. Now this kind of thing is coming up. It will be wonderful. Through the X-ray, we can know everything, whether there is a drug or not, right? So this is the scenarios that we find in our Manipur. But the most important thing is that the parents. I also told you that some students who are weak in study, and then a lot of criticism, a lot of discrimination are going on from the parent side, from the teacher side, from the friend side also, and they have a lot of conflict in their mind. In order to relieve from that conflict or tension due to the conflict, or discriminations, and they off the drugs. Through drugs, they will forget everything. They will live in the paradise. Okay, so how I asked some of the drugs also, and they told me that while we are using drugs, we feel like a life in paradise. Okay, but they will feel such a life in paradise. It's only 1 week. After 1 week, a lot of problems will come up. Back pain, kidney problem, liver problems, and syringe, which will use. And one is sniffing, and another is injections also. So for sniffing, no problem. For injections, due to the unavailability of the disposable syringe, they join together, and therefore HIV is spread out, and hepatitis. Many of the hepatitis diseases are also spread out. And once it is hepatitis, and then they are a victim of the liver diseases, and they are liable to die at early possible if treatment is not given. And once HIV is infected, develop the AIDS, and then they are prone to have a TB disease also. Okay, so all these things are, if we make awareness on these things, and then I think actually they never test the drugs. They never test the drugs that they will like to become the addicts. They simply like to test. What is this? Now, after a test, at least 1 or 2 attempts, and later on they will depend. Psychologically depends. Because the kind of the drugs which is available in Manipur is really powerful. For any oxygen, compulsory addict oil. At the initial stage, one is addiction is formed, and the money will come out from their families. It's also a kind of big business. So these are the stories that we have. Anyway, let us proceed. Some common sign of the 10 substances abuse include how to far away from substance abuse. We should make awareness that we should ask our teenagers that you should never test. One is test, think that you will be addict. Test but compulsory addict oirani. Upay lite. Ani ek subadan me compulsory addict oirani. Amma buk dikhana bhai. Ani ek subadan addict compulsory oirani. Once addict oigitar the lifetime ni. Addiction I say there is no these medicines which will cure the addiction disease. Komasi kaito ko pangam the badum balina makalam si ko na hona bad yam sathina why sathina the percentage is very very less. Out of the 100, it might be 2, 3, 4, something like that. I don't know, recover ki chance. Athina wang nemi relapse ki chance very high. Relapse ki hanjana chabagi. Sendara thamru thola hanjana chabagi chance. Kong masai nungai bitu dang jung pam lai ba haidar. Suning daba thabak tongning daba lai warning daba lai paning daba. Ko social ki norm dagi lai thu aba ko ki leina ka makal amani moise. Ko sam na harakan yamna harau ba nungai thok ba pamba adu. Okay, so let us give the message to the teenagers that you should not never test One of these lessons, and it will be addict. And then once it's addict, there is less chance to recover throughout the lives. Now, that grace, angang sing layam parambadagi handor aba. Ko yam parambadagi yam tina handor aba. My division say this is also one science. Layam ti harambadi harakti kari no. Kano maramam dayumi. Some reasons might be there. Okay. And next, bloodshot eyes. Maybe sing aksang sangang aba ko. Manam nagpada chocolate manam namaba. Ko then manaton ipun pulaba. These are the signs. And allowing for no reasons. Okay, loss of interest in activities. And poor hygiene, this kind of thing is not. This is not. So why we are learning all these things? We are learning which will be used at the schools. Ekoi isagi family ki wa khatana tana school da lai riba ngang mayam sing se masai ki early stage da koi cure to hobu tar ga dingam gane ba. To psychological dependence lai ngai te or ga dingam gane ba. Completely 100% cure to go ngami, but physically dependence onsen gi tar ga di kusan gi tar ga di, it's really difficult. Ko adu ngam da bati nate. As far as harm reduction also, nowadays worldwide, World Health Organizations, the methadone treatment is coming up in Manipur also. There are only some few centers in India. Luckily, we have one center in Manipur, that is the RIMS, methadone treatment. Okay, aduna ngasai drugs to substitute to methadone mehi se chang nai na subita. A lot of unmixture things, unwanted things in the drugs. Akoi locally phangba thau, akoi liquors in city, anga bo phangna yan chalidra. Was very unhygienic, very poisonous, very harmful to the health. So likewise, the drugs which are available locally, si karai dona ekta yan bhanja yan chan dune. Kita mi phangba pot the mix tor ga yamal laga chendong hena tungna report ne tor isi. Adu dona yam sok pa hai tare ne. But what about the methadone treatments? Methadone treatments chemically designed to report ani by nungai badi phangani hakchang ni so alloy. To scientifically designed to badumba liquid never. See pithak targati kedore magi nungai badi phangani magi harm reduction loin hakchang loi phadui never. Now this is available in Manipur, but kaidoge higher ka aduga recover pajana permanently recover to gitar the methadone treatment to we marak to the nasagi kai akoi skar seng batari around 15 days detoxification should be theirs. And then we will toxicity level should be tested in blood of the patients. Client to get addicted to the moment the kind of yaw to hair corner without them may the thada doing maya and toxic level hang out of my blood says they put up the parka never. Yam sati report on the methadone. Okay. I do know methadone one sakitargati Amadu Lama Sungayate, Lamuka and the Makumaitani, I do a Ngosung Royal. The Sungata Nungai with the Pamueva. So, diminish personal appearance for Mas Swai Mangi copy, Atam Maswai the Mangi, avoiding eyes context, mid direct Unargoris Habasing a moy, Miss Hasabo Mayam sings a call. Moisi Adum Moisi, pessimistic way, Ching the Dugi, Lang the Dugi, Adugi, Wakal the Lagani call. And frequent hunger and munchies. Okay, and smell of smokes on breaks or clots or horn bada adiki pee on the am lying hung but it's chumbra chumiko. It's very easy. We are living in a very prone danger area, red line areas of drugs. At the red line area, we are in risks always. We are not living in the safe zones. Quite safe zone the late. Risk zone the point ladies. Risk zone the later, ward zone the later, the precautionary misery of the water sea with Avani. Chumbra, the drug is zone, the red line area, the Labanina, drugs, Carino, Angang, combined Sarino, the Machar, the Sino, combined or precautionary measure logo report. These are security behaviors and unusual tiredness, Maramisa Sadana, why, Koli, Atuni, and Dani Tabangang, Suda, Potaba, and then missing curfews. Okay. So these are some of the signs and symptoms that our teenagers, after all, you will be the teacher at the school level, you are the trainer of the teacher who will teach at a secondary level, and thereby you will give these informations. At the secondary level, the lady who was asking se na koi na training tawr ni secondary level the lady who was asking se kari like the mino gyan ta de secondary or ka ngang sing he ta kang khong sai ko like tam tam ngau hingal ta like tam no phayin ai ji. So something wrong at the secondary and tuition coaching chain and one like ngang dui characters the same day ba and mark pudi wang pibiramage upai di leiti ai di adum sakra doi ni certificate tang lehorani machan mang gi doi nebo. These are the phenomenon that we will find in our Manipur, especially Manipur the yamna luba situation e point lagi se. Now it is up to the parents to initiate the conversation with their children. Adum wari hananum sadok ke sukai ngang sing se mai kari train no. I hope that you haven't gone through the psychology of the adolescence, psychology of childhood tagi adolescence dang homa kanda by behavioral change me am like me am punba pamakani natra da koi ba pamakani adventure pamakani natra da sumo adagi romance pamakani adagi atai toxic me am sing loi pamakani sigi pami ba train me am sing la hai tari your children is a risk of those substances adi tadi kari hana precautionary measure lahu batare ba ko advice behave batare ba haibigi adre sungang hangna ayok salam toine ba hana training knowledge awareness is being provided to the children, to the student, and many of students life will be saved. The children are the future pillar of the nation. Aduna nation se phan ge haiba ta di inkhal ibangang myam sing di punsi se kanbi bata ni johnson nadra. Okay, so the best way to get the teens to communicate about their drugs use is by the asking the compassionate and understanding the questions. When yam hankane question me ama ko school le sumai to guna khra le adu da to moi jana su ki bu kambu boi to ko li adu ta great science. So if you like to get the admissions in the schools, first visit the toilet. What is happening in the toilet? Toilet ta kari legi hana check to yo school bhai building tu na tie ba toilet manung li yo wa adu da loi le ram ne wa. Okay, and no school allowed the parents to look into the hostels. Hostel sing parent karam changan de changba changan dabra ab changan dab ni hostel manung kai dori ge karam khangan de. This is the problems. Ado angang do koi bhagi bharang ita tani pesa thi doi ni life of the who will take the risks of the life of our children. Dekro ne hostel school chalaising su katokan jam to am dari rules should be there. And the parents can ask the straightforward questions when they said in the right tones. And the moin wasing ang khalakane wasing kan ga kane sangadang nga kane adai de koi na sangadang ta te na phuna bata ne. So moi di chum na ngang je ni ngasai power du na ne ngang isu power sa selu me am du na ko we should understand them and simply asking have you been using drugs or alcohol or has anyone offer you drugs recently, can you be enough to get the conversation started. Ko na hak season robra nang season nagadra kana gom no on the nang in maru pang me am sing na chau thau na hairak para kholak para ka cham na hang ki su kai deba adui ta hair equally adunia dan kana no ko mai to adui ta the risks of the substance abuse oire adui ta the substance abuse kai no substance abuse season ka dori haksa na kai tori once just tawgar ga di edik oni ledi oi ta the lifetime oi to ni edik oni lien tori ni have ni sing story man sing set story man sing se moi the livi ba chang e. Your children will be victim, your student will be victim. Responding to the admittance and denials of the drug use is the right way, is just as important as asking the right questions. Aduna question munna bhab tan angangi wakalon sing se ekoi brain hangdo over yemu ya banate. We cannot open the brains of the children. Instead of that, how to know what are their feelings? By asking the questions. Acham ba moi would discriminate to the wadum question hangakan says that ngang season ko. I think I was going as a supervisor. It was about the 2009. Okay, in the year 2009, I went one of the schools. Okay, and then being a supervisor, I had to sit nearby to the students. Right. So I was sitting nearby the student where the last bencher mentally. Being a supervisor, I was sitting and I talked with them. And in the first period, they used white handkerchief. And I entered after the recess and he used red handkerchief. I was so confused. Why these boys change the color of the handkerchief? So something wrong with the handkerchief. And lastly, I confirmed that they was using dendrite smelling. Dendrite. Romance makan romance sumjalai namdoine ko. It was very common. Ko adu latto report level. It is also one size. Okay, and then so the teen substance experimentation. Half of the new drugs users are under the age of 18. And experimentation plays the biggest role in the teenage drug use. Aduna addict mayam sing se kedoba inkhalapagi fashion mi khudin molai thanga eju thapon takpa yaina haidana fashion da test torubadagi experimentation tawbadagi many stories, past stories of the drug addicts are confirmed that they haven't done the experimentation on drugs. However, experimentation is a fact of the life, and just because of thin is tired and the substance does not mean they will become an addict. And taste out of my addict when you have to know the come with you. See the Abdino okay, it's more important to understand why some things are tempted to experiment. Adu do not get away. Kari teenagers sing I'm tempted or sing experimentation. Adu matam do the other adventure activities, club, science club, music club, adventure club, so many clubs we can form it. Mokoi the yawa, chaba tapaku, hidak chabram the in benataba. It is more important. Okay, so common reasons teens abuse drugs include: one is curiosity. We coming ever. And the little drops are there in the bottle which was used by father. I test. So likewise, we have a cultures. What kind of cultures? Swasti Puja, crematorium parties are there. Okay, and the Swarat, Ushov, whatever, any things which are associated with what? Kadoba. Cultures. In the name of the what? Shivratri, we use cannibal also. Me angang singsi dharma gi mingda kadoba kaja thapaya loi tambiri ne. Adu kadore kanja dagi pura kanja idi koni pai leiri ne. So many things to be reforms. Okay, so curiosities. Ahalaman nisur thai biri sa mohai dama chinghori ne bani hum. No chingdaba param yarum manida. Peer pressures. Peer pressure is also one reason because many friends are using. Why not you should? Okay, and stress is also one of the importance. If we have more stress, mathayam satar di nungai na nabala mi thirak patab ne. Okay, this is also one reason. Emotional struggles. Puna ba chaina ba ning adagi man ai ga khangna bu pa ma khangna gi ba kan yam tum ba cha ma khang ba dum ba stress mayam sing manage to gi ha ba tar ga di drugs ayam tai ne ba. Okay, so and the desire to escape. This is also desire to escape. The majority of the adults with the addiction first experimented with the drugs before they turned 21. Say kumatoi shooting kan they say try and panatay the horaga mat taste of toki whenever. Then good news is that the rate of teenage drug abuse had been declining. Was it karabudi handare? Do my the tasikrai the tano the kang the manipur the idea and the rank haliko. Why the teenage brain is susceptible to addictions? The health researchers have found that dramatic spurts of both physical and intellectual growth happen during the teenage age. My brain say teenager parents they never research man thinks now. As the brain changes, some brain functions form at different rates. The pleasure centers of the teenager brain develop faster than the part of the brain responsible for decision making and risk analysis. What the hormone which is coming out which make us happy? Inside, to the back side. Kari no have do. Kari hormone no tholai sibo. Dopamines. Ko. The normal system is thugarakte ni ko. The number 4 hapsa lagan se is dopamine thona bagi. So it is not secret that a teenager can be risk takers who don't always recognize the consequences of their actions. ko mo as tawning ito so mi me am say you tap na this has happened. So substance and alcohol experimentation is often highest during these critical and formative years. Aduna angang sinse kay dore sosti puja da luhong bada usop da ketali parga masai yu yelal leba ko sidi ai ku ta pai ni ta ho pai ni kut yo sel test da ho ni to test da to yar mo ni pa sing ya mana nupi gi di risk ti kare de handa bo male but nupi sing su nupa jo cha to mayam sing sina lit to budagi nupi mayam su victim mayam lai ko. If you go to the Sneha Bhavan, that is the little flower near just to the accession of the little flower, you can find many numbers of drug addicts. You go over there, sumo mayam sing su yang san angang sing se ko school angang sing yang han ba ma changi ba kamai drug oi ino kamai tor ino kamai phar ino kari kari risk lai edik wer ka da high sing loi ko han ba ma changi ba adu urda moi ni sa chani ngak ta ba su ya yo. Awareness should be given. Prevention is better than cure. Okay, so teens are more likely to perceive the social benefits of drug use, such as being accepted among the peers or feelings more social than they are evaluate the negative effects. You yam thaga di sangha yam chawi ko juar sanadari sangha pi ga hainari ne ko sigumba unwanted fashion culture mayam sing su su mangalang na ba macha amane ko adu juna mi mayam season e hai so season atana ba ko with our local clubs organize awareness on the substance abuse and its harmfulness and remedy. So many youths comes from different clubs, okay, and there are many essays. It was debating competitions. Debating competitions season drug as kamai edik kam di edik na kai do ta edik kari precaution measures sangni edik di cure to ngambra ka haibna chingba debating competition ma kaksin gi clubs na adai to mi angang chamai mathak laki bangang mem sing icham cham lak na te moi nei na ba ya ba nei na lai ni nei na ba hona ba kan sai moi automatically aware to thokre adu mo mi chamai mathak lak bangang mem si ai na hujik survey to kan hojik paung ni sa cha te. So we need more essay writing, more debating competition on drug. Ko magi apapata the matom the thesis jaraga journal mayam newspaper mayam ko book mayam study to kan matom the awareness hen. This is all very good. Now why substance abuse is detrimental to the brains? The teenagers years are vital to healthy cognitive functions as an adult, so it is healthy behavior during these years. Drug abuse can impact the brain ability to function in the short term as well as prevent proper growth and development for the later in life. Atuna kamai to we kan da ko normal knowledge acquisition se masibo block to we ko mi block to we brain se kamai to we man sahi tara ga taruk su bu sare na kal se number 4 se ko aduga sahi manga or taruki matung ma se normal si la en kal se hari bu matam de da magi no mana gyan tarba ka da man sahi tara tu cha gi knowledge do adal lai gene adu de magok teng horok to ne marak tu di pra block to ne brain se abnormal oi to ne brain ni mathau su dong to holoi to ne ora phamjil laga mathau ama ta tham doi ne ngawhol tham mi ne ko. Okay, and this is also very dangerous that it disrupts the DNA also. Ko masai gi drug sing kam sathi ke mi bi DNA si buk thugai ho kam sathi ke abnormal DNA ho hen toini. The substance abuse affects the thin brain's developments by interfering with the neurotransmitter and damaging connection within the brain. Kam sathi na mahan ge siung reducing the ability to experience pleasures. Ko thabak nungai ba hai se moi nungai ba se moi masak khang de ba kaino aina ngasi list ama thaba ma tawre si Sunday numi se si thabak se tawge na khanjare hari ba thau mem si loira kan se ista ko ai ngon the fall with the never nungai ba hari se sasal la ko ga hol la nungai ba na te. That is not the real happiness. So reducing the ability to experience pleasures ko aduna he na nungai ba pambagi mahutta he na thabak si achievement se am tawra kan se the phangba phone duna aduna he na nungai ba ni rekha pass away nungai ba do magi heroine duni hen phone ti ba. The creating problems with the memories, moi se yang kogoli, which thanam ba posing loi gudwo hom chan thanam bo enta. Adi duna disorganized life orek tuini whole family dum was spoiled to tuini. So causing the missed opportunities during the period of the highlighted learning potentials adun teenager period sidi kaidoba akoigi man kiba amata laiteba, and therefore armies, navies, air force are recruited, especially in the key the ma thona phaba singing marak se isane kaidoba masagi khongjong gilan karino adu thokri do khongjong gilan sigi bisi kaino chinglen sanaga do ma teenager oram dardi wakhan khandane teenager oram dardi and teenager oibagi ma sacrifice to in life to yam patriotic oiba energetic oiba aki ba phau do matam sidane ba mana angam level the knowledge acquire to maga ko kana ba phangdoi si and knowledge an gadu matam je is knowledge tanchana ba brain to mangan batar gadi what will be the future of the persons kedo tare adui tardi causing the missed opportunities during the period of the highlight and learning potentials, ingraining the expectation of unhealthy habits into the brain circulatory, inhibiting the development of the perceptual abilities. So how drinking affects the teens? Studies have shown that teen brain responds differently to alcohol than the adult brain does. People who begin drinking during the adolescence, especially those who drink a lot, are more likely to develop alcohol dependency than those who don't. You see, I'm saying that masi buthaki targadi ngasai akiba ko akiba ama mo the power kani mina tanare mina hatore haidna adu da ahing din dang daga si chen ni doine ko si am saying that use angela agadi ko akoi gi masi kari haige da okay, in addition to ethics, risks, alcohol poses a serious risk of the physical health and growth of the teens. And studies have shown that excessive drinking in teens can also result in delayed puberty and or negative effects of the reproductive system. Which angang sing se ethic na paishu lera banina akoi generation se population se down chala ane soitana ko. Aduga kamai to gehara kanda. I also told you during the prenatal period angang say mero labu matung dadi kaidok tare hair kanda substance abuse decision against angang say automatically mentally retarded koine ko koina antibiotic oibia painkiller oibia even koi gi nomang ka mahibo problem oiba matam ni si matam se sida akan ba guli akan ba substance abuse man thachang gitardi what will the future of the young baby in the mother womb sini ko si sumba mayam si kam da ba yuma lon mayam kam da ba angang mayam yauri lower bone mineral densities lower bone and the bone density handarani aduna kedo ko kenom akan mam tabu the pack of take to the bone go say higher levels of the liver enzymes that indicative liver damage to ni and the shorter limbs and reduce the growth potential. Now, social and professional risks of the teen substance abuse. The substance abuse can muddy reasonings and encourage rash decisions. Okay, and there are many side effects of the substance abuse that go far beyond the biological and physiological aspects. Biological systems. Some of these criminal record that cannot be. Okay, criminal record might be there because this is a great examples of the substance abuse. Mid blood salani thong uikalaga thau tan masan accident thoi the maram sungli leite. I think what is use of the heroin is a kind of painkiller. Major operation to the capsule laga mi se save tong na mi life se save tong na decision na pot of money. Adi du capsule ngi dari we dora gari thau tai compulsory accident thoi the maram sungli leite. Okay, loss of rationality, car accident, assault, and then sexually transmitted disease, unplanned pregnancies, waste academic opportunities, late start in chosen career path, damage the relationship with friends and family. Nisabu chag tari adugi kaido family do the pura kaiba moigani kanam ta lekai na kanam ta thajabi roi. So mental disorders, substance abuse and teens. So drug abuse and mental disorders like depression, anxiety are commonly found together. So drug abuse is nothing but is a kind of is associated with what mental disease. wakan chumna khanma ngamdabagi neba oiroidabadu sum lamido kari tawragadi chakhutgadage haibisi khangdabagi neba kok mari leinabo ngaktaneba bangwada matomna wajaba harauba hitaba harauba ji nisana thagadam nati itomda ai emotion yamsing control tawrakana nungtija irujaraga isor khoram jaraga ai itawdu fajana perform tawrakanda madudagi success orakanda life to nungai toini kon mazai to nisa thajaraga nungai ne khali wakanse mental issue ne ko according to National Institute on Drugs Abuse 6 in 10 substance abuse have mental disorders. Substance abuse में say mental disorder ayam beloi lai human brains therefore they are referred to the psychiatric. A brain is still developing well into the person early 20s 20 wakti ma brain develop tor to ne develop to do matam lai da maton ka thar bugum ne ba upami maton ka thar bugum ne ba. Most mental illness develop during this period of the growth. This period is also when the brain is most vulnerable to damage from drug abuse. Adu tardi ikhal aiba matam dudai da phattaba hu mayam hapchan gi targani my brain da kamai develop to torige adu my IQ level se dakong nem thagara ne. Okay, many addiction specialists believe that teens with mood disorder ngam sauba ngam harauba, this is very frequently happen among the and the one thing is that they are self-medicate. Ko ngau tari pesa saman kok chi di paracetamol kangsang si di painkiller kind of moi pangtau tu taweba. So si sina pharmacy na su pangpi de piba si sina su addiction ki men ko samani and psychologists conduct research every day to better understand the links between addictions and mood disorders. Ko puning war pangam da puning harau na leibangam da ba puning phada bangam da badagi addiction. Specialized treatment centers have the expertise and resources to help teens with co-occurring disorder recovers. So many things. So the second part of these mental disorders, okay. Depression is also one cause, and parental is also one problems. Ko mama pa na ningti na ngang since care lo widaba, respect to widaba, reject to wiba. This is also one of the cause of the substance abuse. Okay, angang dugi waba sam na haragan paikha pass or ga sonang thine sa biba. Angang dugi sholi be jaga subject to karino kamai to bunang ang duga wari sanaraga magi puning wakal wari bado kuk na nang di sumai to that English yam soul of the English coaching to si coach angang do support to we mota angang do chai biba. This is also one of the cause ko angang pikra bangang do ko punga magda badai neba som da tainer ruido. Okay, adi tar the parents ki chao role am sulai. Okay, and some of the common symptoms of the depressions among the teenagers, let me sum up. Continuous exhaust and empty mood, irritability, feeling of heaviness, fatigues, difficulties, sleep, tumba yarak bangang se tumba yadar mudang kocha chakar tardi. That is also great sign that there is a chance of involving of the substance abuse. Mudang tumda bangang sing problem doi le rabani ko, yahu thieng bangang sing problem doi rabani ko. Okay, adiki cha bathak chau yadaba aya manu sigang sing aya manu chau yadi ko. This is also one difficulties, one chance. Adi haksang si kole kwang nare kole pikrabanga adigi kenom thang basung gamdre their energy strength is very less like old men. These are some of the signs symptoms that they involve with the depressions. So some of the addictive substances: alcohol, tobacco, painkiller, marijuana, cocaine, sedative, heroin, benzones, benzodiazepines. I don't like to say much. Addiction substance changes in the brain. How addiction develops. So this is a story through which you will know that how the addiction is developed in the brain of the addict. Activating the brain reward systems. Tabak wana tawrokan badagi phangakpa harauba nungai bado. Tabak humang wana tawrokan injang chabda hau bone. Tabak sunu su dradi injang hau thongju hau ta bone ba. Ko war kandan akoi gi brain da nungai na nabgi. Tabak layam paroga pekha pasar ga madu harau dunate maram sada kono nungai ba targadi habit form tawrani adu iduna maram borekan da kedore yam line lam kanebo substance ai thinking system se hana chum thok pam samai kok chum da badagi ni addiction thole ising je kok wakhan chum na khan batai isam sam na imana bana base ni imai ba oja darkar oi di hai ta di soidra ma edi oiru maram leite afaba mamana ba tinaba targadi फनी फतब ममानब तीनों तार लखोट पे यादना लौब यारोय चुमरा अदुई तारदी मागी बिलीफ सिस्टम से लोई लान बदगिने बिलीफ सिस्टम से कनाने से मैं यार कांदा ममा पा अमसुंग ओजा अद ममा पा ओजा सिंग न मखोइ से ज्ञान ताहन बम चंगेब नंगी वखलोन सिंग सिदा चु कमाइन खल्ली कमाइन तौई हाइबने चिंग बयन थोक पम चंगेब अदुई लान थाजगी बतारगदी ड्रग चाबना कछु अकाय सु लेति मी पृथ्वी लोई जानरिजे हाइबगी वखलोन चकितानि कंपलसरी अंगाम रेडी ओरिदि मरम सुंग लेतिबा मागी बिलीफ सिस्टम मान खल्ली वखलोन दो मधु हान चेक तो फोक पम चंगेब ओके सो डायग्नोसिस एंड एडिक्शंस si mayam sigje lambi cross over kan moi sugong moi ko lack of control desire to limit use spend time craving lack of response imung maning thabing gang social service kari kra ko nium matam chan hogoloi matam chan tumoi si mayam sing se adi khana chana mayam tawkani ayam adu sak takhal khumakani ko adigi maya adi interest wala aroi ko adi khana chana mayam pamakani see these are the signs symptoms that the student is addict, the children is addict. So these are the inpatient substance rehab centers. Let us read out. Getting sober on your own is not only the dangerous during the initial detox, it is also more likely to result in a relapse later on. Aduna relapse is addiction treatment center provide a monitoring environment where you will get medical attention you need as well as emotional support to overcome drug and alcohol abuse. So advantages of inpatients. Inpatient dari kadar pun kumari yengani yom dari doctor na hidak khudi irakane hai babu ma char ira chadrira chari do chang hen chari bra sai ki hidak do nishaw ne season na su pai dina leiri ba magi heroin digi mohot chilak to ni doctor na thar do guli do adu ma ke do ba nisa sana bi go ni charam tar gadi adu rehab center di pun kumari center to ni chabu ni matam chabu je mako to bi yaro me ka tho hapchen do ni direct suwe be sungai adi to like hospitals yum da layeng baga ko hospital la layeng bayam kenaram gani kenadra adi tardi hospital la layeng to ni hena fai haba ko adugi wari du laktoi ni adu duna kedore recover to ba haba se it's really difficult oi ngam da badin nate it's really difficult. So from this we learned that addiction is a dangerous in our life and there is no future. The whole the life will be dark, and in order to prevent the